So I have chopped all four of the mortisoles, the two on this one and two on this one. So the next thing we have to do is, let me focus the camera on this. We have to prepare the shelves, because the shelf is going to go inside, like there will be tenons here, and we will also have housing dado. We'll work on that. But this hasn't been cut to size. I don't need to cut right now. But what I have done already is like this is the tabletop. Now I have to like make knife mark exactly at the shoulders of this, because that's going to be the end point of those shelves. How do I put it? Let me show one side. Like if I put it this way, the shelf is going to be until this, right, tabletop. So for me to have this as parallel, I need to mark there. So I have already done that. And also what I have done, you may see here, is I have marked like x1, x2, o1, o2, just to make sure they are with the same marks on the mortises. But before I do that, I have to work on the housing dados. So I will focus on that now, because the tenons don't need to go the entire depth. There is going to be a housing dado, so I had marked like which one is the inside. So the depth is going to be, I will keep it as 1/4 inch. So how do I, so this is what I will do. So on a scrap piece of wood, let's say this one, I will just make a knife mark at 1/4 inch. I mean, this is something that doesn't so what I was saying was that this is something, this doesn't, depth doesn't need to be exactly accurate in that way. Less deep, more deep, it's still going to work out. So just on a scrap piece of wood that I will use as my measurement. Wider chisel. I remember I had sharpened this, but I would know. I will just go a little bit away from my this is a stopped housing dado, meaning like it stops at these two ends, not the entire way. Here I am angling my chisel a bit. I don't want that knife wall to move, so I'm just angling it slightly. See, I may have to clamp it. This is a lot of fun. You have to be careful bumping up against this long grain wall that can easily fracture. We'll come back with the chisel later. Yeah, I think this housing dado is also done. So before I work on the other side, I can actually, because I can do that offline, it's all the same. I mean, I could have like used my chisel to chop down for a little bit deeper so that it would have been less work with the router plane, but it works perfectly fine the way, I mean, turned out fine. It could have been quicker, maybe. Yeah, I may have to come back and trim, like, make sure these are all vertical, because I can see some spots there. So next thing is working on the tenons. So let's see which would be the easiest way. Actually maybe better to first work on the, yeah, I will first try to fit in the dado part and then we'll go to the tenon. So I will just, this shelf goes this way. I have marked x1, x2. So I will just put it this way, or I mean the other side is the face side because that will be on the top. So I'll still mark on that side. But basically I'm trying to mark these points. So let me do it from my side, because this is the, I mean they both should be same, but this side is the reality. So I have the points marked on this one. I already had the knife nick there, so let me extend that knife first, and I can go all the way because that will be on the corner, won't be visible. Yeah, try and find that. So this is going to be the shoulder. I was just trying to see whether they both align or not. I'll transfer all the way around. To help me saw with pencil, long grain. Yeah, let me try to keep it exactly 1/4 of an inch. Now I could transfer that same to the other side. So 2 lines here, knife lines. I have to make sure these shoulders come out fully till this depth, but then I have to work on the tenons and take out the center part. I'll show how that happens. It's okay to split this line, I mean, instead of trying to be on the waist side. This one we want to be on the waist side. Meaning this shoulder, because this is going to, like, we want that flush with the ends. So now there is going to be tenons here, but I could still test my housing dado fit on that one. I mean, there is a bow in the shelf, so it's to show. That side is marginally tight. Maybe on the underside I will just use a little bit of planing to make sure this fits. Or maybe before that, what I will do is I will try to cut the tenons. And how do we lay out the tenons? Let me do it this way. The easier way would be lay it here this way. I think I have to make sure first this goes inside the dado. So I will lay it here and then mark those tenon points with pencil. But I have to first work on making sure this goes in. I have to go back now for some work, but I will come back and work on that part.